Hello and welcome to another episode of Quick Tips. Today we're going to do an unboxing of sorts. Be truthful, I already unboxed this to save time. But today we're going to talk about a new amp that I bought from Sweetwater. It's called a Quilter Aviator Cub. There's a lot of videos up on YouTube about this amp. And there's a lot of great guitar players playing it so that you can hear the different sounds that you can get from it. But I thought I'd approach it from a little different angle today. I watched all those videos before I bought it. And, I wanted to talk about why I bought it in the first place. It ranks as like one of the best amps in its price range. And it's, people call it a blues junior killer, But it's a very unique amp, and I want to show it to you today. There were many reasons I bought it. But the first reason is because, I don't know about you, but one of the toughest parts for me of doing a gig these days, unless you have a roadie, is the setting up and tearing down. And I've done, the last few gigs I did were tributes to particular artists, Neil Young and Eric Clapton. While they have total different sounds, behind all that sound is a Fender Tweed. Probably like a 57 Fender Tweed is kind of what they're using, give or take. But this amp will recreate 3 different Fender amps, and I'm going to show you in a minute. And the other things I've watched in that video is that you can play more than one at the same time, more than one of their amps at the same time and blend them. Well, I'm taking it another step further than that. So let me show you. The first thing, like I said, is it's very light and it's very versatile for what I do. So, as I said, I unboxed this already. It was very well packed from Sweetwater. I got what I thought a very fair deal from my tech there, Chris, at Sweetwater. Gave me a very good deal. So you get the book, which is important because it explains a lot of unique features in this. And then this amp weighs 21 pounds approximately, just a little over 21 pounds. And it comes with the cover packed away, and the cord to plug it in, which is pretty much all you're going to need. I'm going to put it up here just for a minute so that you can see the knobs on it. There are 3 separate inputs for amps. There's a tweed, probably like a mid-50s tweed. There's a blonde, which might be like a 60 type Fender. And then there's a black Fender, which would probably be about a 65. Then you've got all of the channel controls that you need. It has a built-in limiter and a built-in gain. It has an effects loop. It has a line out, which is an important thing. And it has a headphone jack with its own volume so that you could practice quietly in your house. But this is a 50-watt amplifier, and it's got a Eminence speaker in it made for them, made for Quilter. It's small, compact, light, 50 watts. It's incredibly powerful. It probably pumps out more than that. So I'm going to show you some unique ideas that I came up with, because like in the Neil Young tribute, I have a pedal that I bought from Dunham, I believe it was the name. It's called a Crazy Horse pedal, and it recreates the whole Crazy Horse sound. Unfortunately, you need a Fender underneath that, to make it really work properly for that purpose. It'll do a lot of things, but to make it sound like Crazy Horse, you need a Fender underneath it. And to drag my big Fender amps to the gig is just too much. And the last gig that I did was you had to go upstairs to get to the stage, no matter whether you went backstage or in the front of the stage. you had to lift things up there. So those big Fender amps weigh a ton. This is 21 pounds, so I can bring this. The other thing about the way I do my gigs is I do acoustic and electric, and sometimes I do them not separate sets. I'll do a couple of acoustic songs and then an electric song in the middle of that. So I have to be able to go both ways. So I have an acoustic setup, and now I have a better, more transportable electric setup. So I'm going to show you. And then as far as pedals go and sounds, so I had the Crazy Horse pedal that I needed a Fender for. And also the Eric Clapton, there's a pedal out, a signature pedal that Eric Clapton had that will recreate a lot of his sounds. But again, you need a Fender-based amp underneath that to make it sound right. So that'll work. I can go either way, and I'll show you in just a minute. So I'm going to put this down on the ground, and I'm going to plug it in and show you a couple of things that I've come up with already to make it super versatile. So hold on. Okay, so I got a lot of stuff hanging here right now. I hope that you can see it. So as I mentioned, there's a lot of videos on this amp, and you can watch them. Some really great guitar players put it through its paces. One of the videos that I watched, a gentleman had a Y adapter where he plugged into 2 channels at the same time with one guitar, and he was blending the 2 channels. And I thought, well, wait a minute, I got a better idea. What if you had an A-B switch? Then I could play A or B, or A and B at the same time. And then I could move, if I had an A-B-C switch, I could play all three amps at the same time and blend them in or play them separately, or use 2 A-B switches to get that happening. So right now I use an A-B switch. I have a pedal board. I'll show you a picture right there. And on that board, you know, it changes, but the Crazy Horse pedal is on that board. So I could go with my A pedal, my A switch, and my Crazy Horse pedal and get about a 57 tweed sound on underneath that pedal and give it way more of a Neil Young sound. Play it on a Les Paul or my Gretsch, okay? Then with Eric Clapton, I have an Eric Clapton pedal. He doesn't use a lot of pedals. He uses a wah, and he uses a Leslie type pedal. That's all he's using right now. But this signature Crossroads Eric Clapton pedal has, let's see, 7 different Eric Clapton blends from the past, one of which the badge one that recreates badge has a Leslie in it, so you can recreate it with the Leslie. So you could use a Eric Clapton pedal on your pedal board, or in this case I have it through the effects loop, okay? So I can go to the sound that I want if I was doing an Eric Clapton thing. So I can do Neil Young, I could do Eric Clapton. I can, I could do Stevie Ray Vaughan if I could play that well. You could, a lot of these guys had Fender-based amps underneath everything. Okay, so then the other really cool feature of this, besides it having the 3 different amps with their own controls, then it has a effects loop that you can run all your pedals through. But this way I can run a pedal board through these guys, and I can have a separate loop, pedal loop over here for something totally different, okay? And so it has its own line out, which is very important, and you need to have a TRS cable for that, so you can plug this into the front of the house. You could run this up to the front of the house, and you have a separate volume here for that. It's the same volume that you use for your headphone, but if you don't have a headphone connected, you're using this volume, so between you and the front of the house you can get the right sound. Or in my case, I have a tone match mixer that I use with my Bose L1, so I can plug it into my mixer, and between here and my mixer, I can get a nice even mix between this and the Bose. So I can have it coming out both places at the same time. So that's pretty cool. So you can get some sound, you can spread around the sound a little bit. It has a volume for the amps and the effects over here. Okay, and this thing will blow the doors out. It's 50 watts and it peaks out, I don't know at what, you know, maybe 100. Okay, so you can play a pretty good size room with this amp. Rate them. So the versatility of this thing is incredible. Plus, if I'm going to a gig by myself, I can carry my Bose one, I can carry this guy. You know, you might have to make 2 trips, but you don't have to lug a 70-pound amp in there. Okay, it's all light stuff and easy to deal with. So I just thought I'd give you a different view of all the different sounds that this thing will do. Let me get a guitar. I'll just let you hear just a little bit of it. You don't, like I said, there's a bunch of videos out there that have people putting this guitar through this amp through its paces. So you don't need me to do that, but just to... This thing is loud. Little Eric Clapton sound. I can run at least 2 at the same time, and so right now what I'm doing is I'm running a tweed and I'm running a black, and I just had it on the tweed right then. I'll change the pedal to both right here, just and I'll take it off of Eric there. So that's 2 amps. 2 different sounds. You can get tons of sound out of it, but I thought I would do the tweed and the black because that's as far, you know, you've got like a 57 tweed and then probably like a 65 Fender blackface, which gives you a total difference in the way they were making amps in those days. So it gives me 2 totally different things. But then there's a blonde right there in the middle that to give you that sound. So again, I want you to go watch some of those other videos and listen to all the things this can do. But I hope this gives you the idea of how versatile this thing and why it would work great for somebody that's doing like a one-man show and you need to do acoustic and electric at the same time and lug all your own stuff. So another thing I would ask, if you would please, please subscribe to my channel. I'd sure appreciate it. Hit the little bell. We'll tell you when new stuff's coming out there. I've got a lot of different things on here. Got these quick tips. I've got lessons. I've got breakout sessions. I've got some cover songs. I've got learn a new song in 4 minutes. There's a lot of things going on. There's the luthier stuff on there. So please subscribe to my channel. I think you're going to like it. And hit the like button if you do. So I'm going to see you in the next video. I'm trying to keep this one short. See you later.